Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Catabolic Window, episode 95. We're caught up now, finally. It's me, it's Luke. It's a classic one. Apparently, I'm introing. Luke does have an idea of a topic. I don't, so I'm going to kind of bank on that throughout the whole call. The whole pod. Anyway, how's your week been? Give us a rundown of recent events. It feels like it's been a while.
It was before Christmas, wasn't it? Our last pod.
Yeah, look, we're now right. I went to upload one yesterday and I didn't have one, so I'm going to upload this one today.
No way.
We're now fully up to date like this. So for those who don't know, this is recorded 2025, 7th of Jan. If you look at the upload date, you'll see it's the same day as it's posted. That's crazy.
Yeah, one of our listeners messaged me a while ago because he was watching it on YouTube. I think it was Teddy.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, "Bro, what is this upload time?" Because it was like middle of November and it was like the end of October that it was screen recorded.
Oh shit! Does it say? Oops.
Yeah, I mean it's good for us if we're in advance.
Yeah.
But then it means that we're talking about shit like 3 weeks late.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I
like
think
something that's trending.
It's difficult though because the only other way around that is whenever we do 2 a week, like if we have a pod guest on, is to just upload 2 that week. And then that also means that we have no room for like if you're away, if I'm away, if either one of us is fucked from dieting, we're both fucked from dieting. Like we've got no wiggle room there at all. So to be fair, we'll see how we go. So far we've been pretty consistent. Maybe we don't need a backlog. Currently we have no backlog.
Maybe being one ahead is handy. So like
yeah,
we can do 2 a week.
Nice hoodie, mate.
Yeah, don't know where I fucking got it from.
Yeah, okay, one ahead. Maybe no, to be fair, we could take it episode by episode. We could always see if what we talk like in this, we're probably not going to talk about anything too relevant. So
yeah, so this could be one that we could just bank.
But if there's one that we talk about something super relevant, maybe we just chuck it out ahead of time. Fuck knows. Who knows? We'll figure it out. Maybe everyone should watch them live. Everyone should join the call and watch us do them live.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Exactamundo.
That would be lovely, mate. So yeah, my week has been good. My week has been busy. Back to normal schedule. Threw myself straight into the fire. First day back at work, 6 PTs.
Oh, fuck me, bro. That is rough.
Yeah, I started at 9 and finished at 8. It was a good day.
Oh,
it was a good day. Yeah,
it
was good. This week's busy as well.
January, innit?
Yeah, man. So I'll start at 10. I'll finish at 10. Bosh.
Damn. Stacking that bread though.
Exactly, mate. That's how it works. How it works. I've seen a lot of new faces, to be fair. I was speaking to a guy yesterday and he goes, it's good that people are here. I hope they keep coming, but I just hope they come at a different time. Mate, it was chaos. It was chaos. There was like 145 people in the gym.
Oh, fucking hell, man.
Yeah, the fire limit is like 500 or some shit.
Really?
We don't actually have like an actual limit on the number of people that are allowed it.
Mad. The thing about graftism, since it's been January, it's been quieter. Like I went there yesterday.
January 1st up until the 5th was pretty dead.
Really?
Like a New Year's Day, it was dead.
Oh yeah, I'm not surprised about that.
It was insane. And a couple of people are like, I wonder why it's so quiet. It's January now. I'm like, what you need to think of is the people that are starting in the new year are exactly the kind of people that will have one big blowout before they start.
Yeah, and also they'll wait until Monday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then it's the kids go back like today, tomorrow. So it's just going to get busier and busier.
Rough.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I feel like everyone's struggling at the minute with like gyms being busy. But mate, so far grafters, I think because it's such a like graftism's so tucked out the way that you kind of have to already know it exists to go there because their marketing.
Yeah.
You've been there, it's so out the way.
Yeah, like, it's not. You don't go near it, and you're like, oh yeah, fuck. Like there's a good gym here.
Yeah, exactly. And like I think because it's so small as well, you'd only go there for the kit. Like if you're new, you'd walk in and you're just surrounded by a bunch of huge people. You'd be like, "Fuck this."
Yeah, mate. I mean, we had like 50 new members sign up yesterday.
Bro.
Yeah, man. So it's like they're all coming tomorrow. Let's be honest. So today.
Yeah.
Ideal.
Yeah. Fucking hell, man. I'm amazed it wasn't like Monday was the big influx yesterday.
Yeah, so it'll be Monday. Monday was really busy yesterday.
Yeah.
Today will be busier, and then like by Wednesday it will be peak. I think. I'm not there on Wednesday. Actually, I finish early on Wednesday.
But it should be like, how long do you reckon it'll stay busy for? Until Feb?
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? Because there's a pretty small window between the time when people start the gym and like do the same shit as they did last year and the year before that didn't work, and then realize, oh fuck, I probably need some help, before they just quit. So it's like, you know, if you can find a few people that you can genuinely fucking help, then they'll stay it through. But a lot of people do just quit and then do the same shit again next year. Mad.
Yeah, I wonder what the success rate of like people with PTs versus not PTs is. Like for
how good the PT is, man.
Oh yeah, fucking hell! I hear some stories, man. To be fair, we could talk about that today. I've heard some shit about some PTs.
Yeah, and the thing that I always go back to is like something Matt says, that if you were in their shoes with the information you'd have, you'd probably do the same thing. And that's sort of what I think when, you know, somebody's looking at the amount of protein that they're eating and think, oh, maybe it's like, you know, 30 grams lower than what I would expect it to be, or my fats are a little bit higher. I'm like, they've probably got a good reason for that.
Yeah.
You haven't got a good reason for being on your phone during half the session.
Oh, I meant more like, yeah, I mean, that happens, but I've heard about a few PTs where they're like, oh, I know that my client, I forget the exact phrasing, but it's something like they had a bunch of people looking to lose weight, get in better shape. And the PT was essentially like, yeah, I know that they're not going to stick to it. So I'm not even going to give them like a plan. I'm just going to repeat the same plan because they're not even going to stick to it anyway. So what's the point? Basically being like, why would I try if they're just going to fail? And I was like, bro, you know, like, so
my man is playing like 7D chess.
Literally, he's like making them fail before they've begun. And like, he's like, oh, he said something along the lines of his philosophy for PT is basically you're just there to keep them entertained so they don't leave. I'm like, yeah, but you're also there to do a job.
There are a few clients like that for sure. Like if they didn't have a PT, they probably just wouldn't go to the gym whatsoever.
Yeah.
So they have a PT to keep them going because they know that the gym's good for them.
Yeah.
But that's still some sort of goal, isn't it? It's going to the gym and doing some shit there that is benefiting them for sure. Like I sent you that post the other day. That was it. Mental Huntsman's that posted that. Like every hour you spend in the gym gives you 3 back or some shit.
Yeah. But I mean, you're still
such a fucking good way to put it.
But you're still going in with the goal of like doing something, like keeping in some form of logged exercise, trying to in some way beat that, you know, trying to keep some level. Like obviously, yeah, I get it, but like they're like, I've spoken to PTs that are like literally just like their clients are asking for something, like give me routine, give me structure, give me progress, and they're like, mate, I'm not even gonna try because you're just gonna get my hopes up, basically. Like that's fucked. That's actually fucked. I can't get over that. But yeah, some PT, and then another one was like there was a PT telling all their clients to track all their veg, seasonings, squash, soft drinks, like everything. And I was like,
and you're dealing with people that probably don't even know how to track.
Exactly, you're going to burn the fuck out of that client. Like, imagine you join the gym and they're like, you need to track everything that goes into your mouth. You'd be like, wow, fuck.
Well, I was speaking to one of my guys yesterday, and he was like, I want to go skiing again. I'm a bit heavier than the last time I went skiing, and I want to put my legs up a little bit more. So I'm like, okay, this is what we're going to change training wise. We're going to do a bit more lower body work because he's coming to the gym more consistently. He's rather than like coming twice a week now, he's coming basically every other day. So it's like, okay, we'll do an upper lower split sort of thing. Bit more lower body work overall. And then, you know, put like the abs and all of that other extra shit on the the upper day. Anyway, then when it comes to nutrition, I was like, okay, well, how do you feel about trying tracking again? And he was like, to be honest, I don't really like weighing the food out and that sort of thing. And I sort of had the conversation, like, this is going to have an impact on the amount of fat loss that you can get, but we could just start off with your fist as a rough portion size.
Yeah.
Is it ideal? No. Is it better than nothing? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So,
and you can't tell me, oh, I couldn't work out how much I had because I didn't have my hands with me.
I like to go for foods that are like whole quantities, so like an egg, a bagel, etc., etc. Because it's very, very easy to again, it's like easy to track. You don't weigh an egg. How many eggs did you have? Well, just look at the pan. I can see 2. I've had 2. A tin of tuna, etc., etc., etc. But I like the hand portioning as well, because then you don't need calories. Like if you're having 3 handfuls of carbs per meal, if you go down to 2, probably going to lose weight.
Exactly, mate. What coffee have you got there? What kind of mug is that?
It's instant coffee with a little picture of Baby King on. You see that? Look at him.
Picture is lovely. The instant coffee is dreadful, mate.
Yeah, well, you would say that. Being a little coffee snob.
Mine is AeroPress.
I'm out here in the trenches, putting in real work. I'm in prep coffee.
But to mate, AeroPress literally takes about a minute. I'm not even joking.
How does it work? I don't actually know, genuinely. All memes aside, I genuinely don't know how the AeroPress works.
So grab it, it's on the side.
Yeah, grab it. Let's see it. Coffee talk.
I'm still trying to post this fucking story of the podcast from about 7 minutes ago. Okay.
Yeah,
so we've got this cunt here.
Yep.
Okay. We bang this bit on here. Push that in nice and deep. There's a joke in there somewhere.
Very nice.
Bang some coffee in this bit. They give you a scoop.
Mm-hmm.
Stir it round.
So is it ground coffee or coffee beans?
Ground coffee.
Okay.
I have got I've got a manual coffee grinder, and it takes about 5 minutes to make enough coffee grounds for one coffee, and it makes me appreciate grounds so much.
Okay,
it's a fucking killer forearm workout.
But then if you ground the beans,
it's really good.
Then you could use the grounds in the AeroPress.
Yes.
So what? You take the bean, you take the.
Don't worry, this is too complex for you. Just worry about grounds for now.
You take the grounds, yeah.
Yeah. So grounds go in here.
Yeah.
Stir it. I then put a filter paper in this thing.
Yeah.
Fit that on the top. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I put the cup on top, spin it round, gently plunge this guy down into the cup.
Oh shit.
And it comes out.
Oh yeah.
And after I stir it, I literally leave it for a minute just to chill, and then I can make it.
Epic.
Because basically, what you do when you're making an instant coffee is you go to the kitchen, you boil the kettle, you bang the coffee powder in the cup, and then fucking have a wank for 2 minutes while you wait for the kettle to boil.
Yeah, exactly. Dead on.
By the time the kettle's boiled, I've got all of that shit ready with the filter paper and everything. So I just need to pour it in, stir it, and it's basically ready to go. It maybe takes a minute extra.
How do you fit in the wank?
Fuck.
Because that's the deal breaker for me, really, is just where's my wank going to go?
Oh.
No, that's quite a deal breaker.
Not very optimal, mate. Not very optimal. Speaking of optimal, do you know what I've realized when people say optimal? That it's a little bit of a dog whistle for I don't know what the fuck is actually good about it.
Hey.
Well, I mean, I realized this today because someone was asking me, basically, their mate signed up with a coach and he was just asking me for an opinion on what he's doing.
Yeah.
He copied and pasted the answer. So he sent this answer to his friend, and then his friend sent it to me, and I read the answer, and there was optimal in there a couple of times. And I'm like, what do you mean by optimal?
Yeah, optimal for what? In what way?
Yeah. It was just optimal for performance. How?
Yeah.
What does it make about performance better? But anyway, do you know what is optimal at the moment, mate?
What?
Segue of the century here. An upper-lower split, isn't it?
Oh, shit. I was going to talk about fucking people saying... Can I quickly say one thing about optimal?
Yes.
It's like... optimal is no longer used by anyone who's evidence-based. I feel it's now only used by bros who hate people who use any kind of science.
That's very true.
People, the only time I ever see DMs is people being like, "Oh mate, do you train optimally? I hate that shit." And I'll be like, what kind of, imagine, like, let's deconstruct the sentence that you've just said to me. Do you train as best as you can is the synonym of what you've just said. I hate that shit. So first of all, crazy. Second of all, I hate the word optimal because it has been ruined. But also it's like, you'll see lads doing like crazy 200 kilo bent over barbell rows and being like, not very optimal, bro, shut up. And I'll be like, no one's saying that to you. I don't think anyone's ever going to say that. Like, I think most people would say there's a better way of doing this. Or why are you doing this? But no one's going to be like, that's not optimal.
They're arguing against something that the other side hasn't actually said.
Exactly. Like in maybe like 4 years ago, 2-3 years ago, yeah, most people would have just said the buzzword. But like, if me or you, if we saw someone doing like a bent over barbell row and they were like, I'm doing this to really grow my upper back's not growing, we wouldn't be like, oh yeah, that's because it's not optimal. We'd be like, well, yeah, there's better options, mate.
Speaking of bent over rows, mate, did you see I rode the 40s?
Did you?
Yeah.
Sexual. That was a bent over dumbbells, yeah?
Yeah.
Or did you have 2 barbells loaded with 40 kilos? Yes.
They're both just like fucking slapping each other like
oh. Sorry, you wanted to talk about upper lower.
Yeah, man. So somebody asked me about this a while ago. And we just never got to it.
It's interesting. So the thought process is, for those that don't know, the idea is, I'm not going to say optimal. The idea is that a upper lower split is better than a push pull leg split, or training upper lower is better than splitting things up more, even if you've got the same volume, because high frequency is better, because muscles can recover pretty quickly, because frequency, I forget the argument, but I think it was like frequency is meant to be better for muscle growth, even though we can kind of dispel that. I think there was something in there as well about like patterning of skills. Like if you're,
of course, it's like anything, frequency is better up to an extent.
Yeah, exactly.
Is once a week better than once a fortnight? Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Is once a week better? Is once a fortnight better than once a month? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Is 4 times a week much better than 3 times a week? No, probably not.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially if you're dealing with like fucking quads, which means that you're then having to train them 2 days in a row. Like, unless you're doing like a leg extension one day and a leg press the next day, that's about what you could fucking hack.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
I think probably the main kind of argument for it, or the main time that I see it working, is like if you're able to train like JP or Kuba, in that you have like nothing outside of training. So if you've ever observed JP train, he'll be like, oh, I've moved my split. So they tend not to do 7 days because they're like trying to maximize the fuck out of what they can do, and all they have is training. I mean, Kuba coaches, but he's mainly focused on training. So he'll be like, so he might do like upper rest, lower rest, and then be like, actually, I don't need that rest between, and then be doing upper lower rest. Or he used to do like push pull, rest legs, rest, repeat, and then he might run like push pull, rest legs, repeat. Like when you have that finer detail between, oh, I hit upper every 3 days, I'll change it to every 2, or I hit it every 4 days, I'll change it to every 3. If you have that level of detail over a split, yeah, sure, because you can really be like, well, I was recovered, I did well, I can pull that forward a little bit now, I can hit that more frequently. Sure, but if you're working across like 7 days,
yeah, but there's no real people that can do that. Like,
exactly.
Even you and me, who
we
are
can't
like
do that.
Very fucking invested in bodybuilding, like go, yeah, that's something that I'm actually not willing to do. I'm not willing to design my split around 5 days or around 8 days.
Yeah,
because it just makes everything a cunt.
Then
I've got a 2-hour gap on a day that I didn't have it on last week, and I've now got to find 2 hours on a day, which is that Thursday, for example, which I'd normally have fucking 6 or 7 PT sessions in. Like I can't find the time in there, really.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just unnecessary stress.
Organizing your work around it, because if you've got clients and they want a certain check-in day or PT session or call, it's usually going to be, oh, I'm free Wednesdays. And you're like, yeah, well, I'm free Wednesdays every 4 weeks. And then I've got like rotating between push, pull, and legs. But also as well, you've got to think like, and I think about this a lot, you've got to think about like some days you're going to be training on a Sunday when you're not. And then you have to think about what time the gym shuts. Some days you're going to end up like you'd have to be so cautious about like, okay, the last time I ran push, it was after a full day's work. Now I'm running push, it's a Sunday. I've got to get there before it shuts. Like, you know, you might end up fucking your sleep. It's just like it's not that feasible.
It's just it's more stress than it's worth.
Exactly.
And this is one of the big issues that I have with like main gaining, in the same sense as this, is you need every day to be exactly the same to have any idea of what's going on. I'd much rather have a bigger leeway and accept that we might gain 5 more pounds of fat over the course of a push-up and actually gain some tissue than not. And this is coming from somebody who's gained 3 pounds in 2 months. And then, like, that's not me trying to not gain weight. My food has literally fucking doubled. And I'm like, yeah, we're cool. We'll just slowly build it up from here. It's okay. And seeing as I'm competing this year, makes sense.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I've picked shows.
Oh.
Yeah, mate, September is like a busy month.
Damn. You want to talk about it?
Have we finished on upper lower? No, we'll come back to this in a minute. Yeah. So that's the idea of it there. And upper lower makes a lot of sense for that reason. But it's like, if you've got somebody that really wants to do push, pull, legs, upper lower, like, what's the fucking problem with that? It's cool. Like, if they like doing it, and I can find it becomes a little bit boring doing all of your upper body in one go.
Yeah, agreed.
And just a bit of variation is quite nice.
If you've got the same amount of volume, like, the only time frequency would be an advantage is because it makes higher volumes easier to tolerate. Like, doing 5 sets 3 times a week to make 15 sets is easier than doing 7 on one day and 8 on the other. So potentially,
like, say your max volume is fucking 12 based on the number of sessions you're doing. If you do an extra session, you might be able to do 14, 15.
Yeah,
exactly. High quality work.
Yeah. And the other element would be, I guess, like, skill acquisition. Like, you practice that skill of pressing or rowing or pulling or whatever it is more frequently. But again, I don't think that's going to be that advantageous long term, particularly because the goal is growth and not really to be like a powerlifter. Like, with a powerlifting split, yeah, like, pretty decent frequency, particularly because we want to pattern a particular lift. But I mean, you know, you get a few weeks into a meso, and are you really still, like, you get like 4 or 5 weeks into a meso, are you really still learning your pressing? Like, not really. You know, it's pretty much then all of the big jumps are had, and you're pretty much slowly trickling up from there. You know, you're not, maybe a little bit if you're a bit of a slow learner or you're newer to the gym, but like, if me or you swapped an exercise, first 2 or 3 weeks would be pretty aggressive progression, then it slows down and you're pretty much, you've got it patterned. That's not really then going to be an issue. It's then just going to be slowly trickling it up.
Yeah.
So there you go. Upper lower, only really advantageous if you're running, well, I mean, even then, not really. If you want to run upper lower, go for it. If you're running it just to do it because it's quote unquote better, it's not. I think the only advantage to frequency really is just that it makes higher volumes easier. If you find that, like, oh, okay, you're slightly more, like, say that the next time you come to train, you could have trained 1 day earlier, like, you've got a 7-day split, but if you took out a rest day, you maybe could have done it in 6. That's fine. You know, it's only 1 day. It's not going to make a huge difference. No one's going to look at your physique and go, oh, wow, I can really tell that you didn't train 3 times a week instead of 2 times a week. You know, it's not going to make a huge difference. And by the way, I did run 3 upper, 2 lower for a significant amount of time.
Yeah, so did I.
I switched to, I can't talk. I changed, there we go, to upper lower PPL because it was more engaging, because otherwise, like my lower day, one's quad, one's ham, because it's more engaging for me. But otherwise, it was just like upper, upper, upper. I hated training upper. It got so boring. Whereas now, like that upper session is like a bit more nice. It's still probably my least favorite session, but the push and the pull I fucking love. Like,
yeah, same here.
I love that push and pull. It's great. The upper is dead. If I could run PPL, I definitely would rather do that than just do upper. But you know, like I've got to have some kind of frequency in there and not absolutely shag myself. I can't do 6 days a week. That's insane. But yeah, you know, I find that far more engaging. I care more about my lifts. I'm more engaged when I walk in the gym. Like I actually want to get something out of that session rather than just want to get through it. And that makes a big, big difference. Because I'm probably going to be able to follow this for a very fucking long time. And again, like if my progression is insane, or we know I can tolerate more volume, I'll just do more volume. I don't need to do more frequency. Like, yeah, maybe if I train push on a Thursday and I walk into it and I'm like, I'm a little bit too fresh. Okay, well, I could just do more push volume on the upper or more push volume on the push. I don't need to bring it.
I've ever thought that I've got into a session for, yeah, I'm too fresh, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, to be fair, like, yeah, but like even if you know you can do the JP approach of pull things a day forward, or you can just do slightly more so that you need that extra day to recover. But even then, like I'd argue, if you walk into the gym and you feel really good, sick, don't you know you don't need to get rid of that. Like there's diminishing returns on increasing volume, like with frequency. It's good up until a point, and then you know adding sets beyond that, yeah, it's a benefit, but not a huge one. I'd rather just, for me personally, particularly with joint issues, not take the risk. I'd rather go in and be like, okay, I know I can progress this.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, because he says like, oh, you should do full body or upper lower unless you're a fucking pro.
Yeah.
Do you remember when he did his education series, maybe last year?
Yeah, JP is, yeah.
Yeah, and he was like going through different splits and stuff. And I remember the full body split that you put in there was like literally one set on every single exercise you could possibly think of for that muscle group. Yeah. Like I'm talking, you're doing one set of a chest press, one set of a chest fly, one set of a shoulder press. Then you're doing one set of a lateral raise. Then you're doing one set of a close grip pull down. Then you're doing one set of a chest supported row. Then you're doing one set of another back exercise. Then you may be doing another lateral. Then you're doing a preacher curl and a face away cable curl. Then you're doing an overhead extension and a press. I'm like, why don't you just do 2 or 3 sets on one of those exercises?
Yeah, what?
And then save those other exercises for another day.
Yeah.
Because it was then that you were repeating half the same shit again, like 2 days later.
So what he would do, like 1 on, 1 off, or 1 on, 2 off with just the same session.
Yeah, it was pretty much the same. Yeah, there was a couple of different things, and that can work if you're like a bare bones beginner. But if you're a bare bones beginner, you're not following JP.
If you're a bare bones beginner, sure, like you can make a good case for it. Like, oh yeah, bro, get really fucking strong at those lifts. But equally,
oh yeah, like some of my, like especially when I get someone that's like literally a newbie for PT, we'll do the same full body session 3 times a week, and then after 3 weeks, when I'm happy with it, okay, we'll add in some new exercises. You keep doing this one, we'll check on it again in 2 or 3 weeks, see how you're doing. And every single one of those weeks, they've added like 5 fucking reps to a chest press. And you're like, what the fuck? I wish I could make this progress.
But like you said, the main thing there is that you diversify what they're doing. Can you imagine being a beginner and just rinsing the same shit for like ages and then being like, oh fuck, I don't know how to do anything else in the gym? Like you're still a beginner to pretty much any other movement. But equally as well, like it needs to be engaging, and that trade-off, it just comes down to the same thing again. Like JP will be like fuck optimal or whatever that means, but then be like, yeah, if you're a beginner, you should definitely do the same every single time you train. And it's like, well, what if they don't enjoy it? JP will be like, I know I shouldn't deadlift for growth, but I really enjoy it, so fuck you, I'm bigger than you. But then also is like, you should do the same full body even if you don't enjoy it, just crack on with it. It's like, well, again, it's like, are you on the side of enjoyment slightly trumps what in theory is best, or are you on theory beats enjoyment? Because the thing is, like, I think people forget that, like, if you don't enjoy it, again, you're going to switch off. Like, if you've got a person who's new to the gym, like you've got, and you're able to give them the same session, sick. But I bet, like you said, if you need to diversify their sessions, I bet if you didn't, they probably get fucking bored after like a certain length of time. You know, the familiarity when you're new to the gym is good, but then after a while, you know, depending on the person, some people are going to like it, some people aren't. And if JP is telling you, oh shit, bro, you can't change that, you have to run the same full body, they might be like, oh, well, shit. And do I have to do one set of everything because I want to do more, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And like, say with some people, they'll do an exercise and they just won't fucking like it.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, what I'm concerned about here, mate, is we train hip extension. I don't really care if we do a back extension machine, a 45-degree or an RDL. We'll just do the one that you like.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's what's going to give you life benefits.
Yeah. Literally, it's the same for like running 2 different laterals. Like when you're that new, profile's not going to matter. Profile's just going to be like sequencing. But even then, you might just be like,
most of the time, I'll give them a dumbbell lateral raise because we can take it over to another piece of equipment and superset it.
Yep, exactly.
Easy. But that's the main consideration, is practicality. I remember I had a client ask me, like, why do we do these two exercises together? I'm like, because they're right next to each other. Is basically the reason.
Yeah, saves time. But again, it's
like confidence fucking going around the gym.
It's the same as like being on a cable stack and being like, well, I'm going to do tricep push down, so I might as well do some curls here when I'm here.
Yep.
You know, but yeah, it's just so weird because like even JP will be like, as a beginner, you can pretty much grow off of anything, and then we'll be like, here's how you should. It's like, well,
that's very true.
Just put in some kind of structured plan, you know, like put in some lifts that you like, aim to train every muscle or as many as you can, aim to train every joint action or as many as you can, log them, progress them, cool. You know, as long as you're feeling good, you're not getting any pains or niggles, work with a coach or a PT if you want to be extra safe, you know. But like, again, also like, yeah, which beginner? Can you imagine introducing a beginner to the concept of Jordan Peters? He lifts weights.
What the fuck is that?
He looks like a bowling ball. He looks how you don't want to look yet, and he lifts weights that you can't quite fathom because you've never stepped foot into a gym. But anyway, you should take his advice.
You see what he's got on the bar there? That's 5 of you.
But like, you try and explain, like, if you try and explain JP's lifts to someone who's never lifted, then they're going to be like, yeah, cool, big number, but they're not going to truly fathom like how fucking stupid it is. But equally, they're probably going to be like, oh, is he a really good PT or something? You know,
yeah.
They're not going to be like, you'd be like, oh yeah, he coaches bodybuilders. They'd be like, I don't want to be a bodybuilder. You're like, oh.
I remember ages ago, Matty fucking messages me and he's like, I just love JP for this story. So somebody had asked him on his Q&A, what's the difference with recovery between 4 sleeps and your next leg day? And JP's answer is, it's the same as 3 sleeps, but with an extra day.
The shit that people ask him is actually crazy. Like, it would drive me crazy.
Yeah, honestly. And Ian Valier is exactly the same, isn't he? He just like he's like, what the fuck is this question? Like,
people think that JP's got it down to a formula of 4 sleeps before his leg day. Yeah. And it's like, well, it's probably as simple as 3 was, he wants to train pretty frequently because he likes to train, and 3 wasn't quite enough, so he went for the next best thing that he could. Like, you know, again, like whenever you watch JP's approach to training, it is very, very easy to understand. You just need to follow him for a few minutes. Just read his captions. They're very, very simple. He'll be like, oh, I was doing 4 sleeps before training.
Yeah, but he doesn't put any fucking spaces in them. It's so annoying.
Yeah, to be fair, he's spending like 90% of his day writing that fucking caption. Can you imagine with his huge fucking GH thumbs tapping that out? Do you think it's Corin and he's like dictating to her, and that's why it's like a paragraph long? He's just talking for 3 minutes. But literally, JP's training is as simple as he'll be like, yeah, used to do 4 sleeps, lift stalled, upped drugs, or went for 5 sleeps, or upped food. Like, it's literally, I remember when he debated, quote unquote, Mike Israetel, which is a great podcast, by the way.
It was really good. Yeah, I've listened to that podcast like 4 times.
Yeah, it is amazing. And Mike's like, what do you do when you hit a plateau? And he's like, more drugs, more food, maybe sleep more. Like, it's so, like, again, like, and Mike's like, yeah, fair enough. I mean, like, yeah, that kind of is bodybuilding. Like, sometimes take a deload, sometimes take a devolume. If not, more drugs, more food. Like, yeah. But the thing is, like, JP as well, I think a lot of people confuse the way that JP trains with like the best way to train. JP clearly loves movement variety, because like if you watch him, people are like, oh, he's so low volume. He'll do like 6 sets of triceps in a session, but he'll do it across like 2 sets across three different things. He'll be like, yeah, dip, tricep extension machine, and then a dip machine or something. Like, because he wants to do all 3, because he's so numbers driven. He wants numbers on everything, and he wants numbers to beat on everything. And he'll do 2 sets and be like, I need to do something new, you know. But his volume will be still like, it's the same. If JP could look at, like, or do something incredibly similar and instead do a cable tricep pushdown for 6 sets. It's the, like, in terms of stimulus, it's the same. And people would be like, what the fuck are you doing, JP? You changed. But like, because it's like, oh, my leg day is an extension, a lunge, a leg press, and the hack, or like, and a squat pattern. There's so much redundancy because he just wants to try everything.
Yeah.
It's like, they're like, oh, wow, brilliant. Yeah. Like, it's like when people run 2 different leg presses in the same session, both 2-legged, even if there's a slight difference in profile, it's still like, this is more of a preference thing than like a practicality thing here. Like,
yeah.
The way that you could see, the way that JP programs is just in everything though. Like, is in everyone, everywhere, especially in the UK. Do 2 sets, move on. Spam 2 or 3 movements, then move on.
Do you see Christian's story the other day? Is my favorite quote in the industry. Yeah, I train JP style.
Oh Lord.
And I added ... and look nothing like him. Yeah,
pretty much.
That is exactly how it goes.
That's such a like late teens, early 20s. Where's Gasp, Monster Factory, you know, kind of like, that's like screaming that demographic. That is like kind of first couple years of bodybuilding. Yeah, bro, I train JP. Lord.
Not ideal. Not ideal.
There's nothing wrong with JP's approach. I think people just need to stop touting it as magical. If you talk to JP and you ask him, why do you do this? He'll give you some background knowledge. If you take more than a second to think, you could easily be like, well, then you could do this, Jordan. And he'd be like, yes, I could, but I don't, because I don't want to. He'd be like, why do you believe so much in pulling from the floor? Well, I think it gives you big erectors. Okay. Is there another erector movement I could do? Yes, mate. Yes, there is. Okay, Jordan, why don't you do that? Because I like pulling from the floor. Oh, okay. Like, it really, he's very, but people take it as like what he says is magic. Oh, you have to pull from the floor. Jordan loves pulling from the floor. Jordan loves pulling from the floor because Jordan can pull from the floor really well and he enjoys that shit. It's given him an insane physique, sure. Doesn't mean it's going to do the same for you. And if you fucking hate it, don't do it. Like, Jordan used to love a barbell squat, but now he doesn't anymore. A few years ago, if we were all following JP like 10 or so years ago and he was as big as he is now, everyone would be fucking barbell squatting. And I don't think people would have got on as much with him because a lot of people can't barbell squat well or can't set it up to save their lives, or JP doesn't set it up really in any particular way. So I don't think he'd have the same following because everyone would be like, this is shit, I hate it, it hurts my joints. But yeah, fucking...
There is just something magic about pulling from the floor, though.
Yeah, no, there is. Yeah, it gave me
just hinging with a barbell.
It gave me huge side delts. It gave me huge calves. It gave me huge. It gave me huge ears. It gave me
ear hypertrophy is what we are after.
It's true. It gave me great triceps, side delts, you know, front delts, chest. It did it all, mate. It did it all.
It just is magic. Just is magic. And that's why I'm gonna do nothing but pull from the floor for my entire prep.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing that.
Yeah, we just work out really, really well.
Yeah, whenever my missus lies down on the floor, I just pull her, just quickly, just get a couple reps in.
Oh yeah,
pull her from the floor. Well, this conversation.
Actually, do you want me to give you the rough timeline, mate?
Yeah, go for it. What shows you doing? Categories?
Okay, so I had a look at all the natty shows on Compact so
Natty
far.
shows?
Yeah.
But Luke,
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I won't tell them. It's okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm actually on gear.
Yeah, he's cheating. He's cheating, guys. That's a joke. Okay, someone's going to believe me. That's a joke. Luke is natural, as will be proven by him entering the natural shows. What's the drug testing like for those? Because you've got you've got to piss in a cup while someone watches. I don't think I could do that, mate.
Yeah, mate, I don't think I could do that either.
Let alone not being natural. You're going to have to.
Goal for this season is to get drug tested.
I rate that. The thing is, if someone was like, you have to piss in a cup and watch, and I have to watch it, I'd have to take a diuretic because I'd get so pee shy. I have to take a diuretic and a muscle relaxer so I don't fucking clench.
And then you're not natty anymore.
Yeah, true. Hang on. Shit. They're like, you've got diuretics in your system. I'll be like, yeah, so I could piss in front of you, mate. Fucking hell.
That is a very good point. So I had a look. There's 13th of July PCA Naturals. That's way too fucking early.
It's early. Wow.
Only show in August is BMBF Southern.
Okay.
On the 3rd. So if I'm ready or nearly ready, I might do that then. Then September we've got 6th is BMBF Northern. I don't know if I'll do that. If I do the Southern, I probably won't do the Northern. 13th and 14th is WMBF.
Okay.
20 to 21st is UK DFBA.
Which of those is the polygraph?
I think they all do it on some of them. I think it's normally the pro ones where they do the polygraph because it's a bit more expensive.
Oh, okay. Because polygraphs aren't actually that reliable. I don't know. I don't know how well known that is, but so I'm just reposting your stories on both accounts. Okay. Go follow Catabolic Window on Instagram.
Yeah.
Sorry, keep talking, mate. Go on, I interrupted.
I do. Oh, wait, you're telling people to do that?
Yeah, listeners at home.
Oh, okay, I see.
Did you like the fin reel that I posted? I thought it was pretty good.
I didn't watch it, mate.
Ah, well. I did it myself. It took me fucking ages.
What about the editor?
Yeah, well, he's working on shit. I wanted to speed it up.
Oh, fair.
So he's doing some crap. I'm doing some crap. We're working together. To be fair, I did send it to him and be like, "Can you do more like this?"
Fair.
Sorry.
And then there's PCA Naturals on the 28th, but I don't know if I'll do that one if I've just done like shows the last 2, maybe 3 weekends.
Yeah, what's the gap between that and the previous?
Literally, there's a show every weekend in September.
Wow.
Which is not ideal.
Your planet. So you mentioned 3 and then maybe 4th as PCA Naturals?
Yeah. So
damn.
If I do, I think ideal would be ready for BMBF in August. Do that. Have a month and a bit between that and WMBF on the 13th.
Wow, that's a long time, bro. Are you gonna do?
Then do UK DFBA on the 20th, and then do their finals on the 11th, maybe.
That 6-week gap is going to be horrid.
Yeah, I might just. I will see how it's looking.
Yeah.
But I think UK DFBA and WMBF being so close together. If I don't want to do that BMBF, I could just do fucking 3 weekends in a row. But that's going to be also not be fun.
Yeah, it's hard to know at this stage, isn't it? Because we don't know how your physique holds up to that prolonged stress.
Yeah, exactly.
You might be living for it, mate. You might also be absolutely fucked.
That is very fair.
Yeah, I guess it just comes down to like how well you can chill out, really, innit?
Mm.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Exactly, mate.
In terms of competition for myself, I still haven't picked anything out, and I'm still going to see how it goes. We're still in the same boat. You see my dog moving behind me? Here he goes.
Oh yeah, what a legend.
Hey, bud. Yeah, I'm still going to see what happens. I'm going to aim to diet around April, May. Currently, composition's holding incredibly. My body weight has come down a little bit. So it peaked at like 218. It's currently like 213. I sent my check-in off to Tom today, so I'll see if he ups my food.
Okay.
Performance is mint, so we'll see. But yeah, things are going very fucking... Oh, nice shake, bud. Things are going very fucking well. So we will see. I know that around September time would be roughly when I'd want to compete. Definitely like a PCA first timers. Beyond that, I don't really know. And I know that category wise, I'm not very classic or men's physique because my upper's blank. So it would have to be some kind of shitty bodybuilding. As in I will look shitty. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. What's that?
What's the difference then?
What between? I guess I could just enter classic and also be shit, couldn't I?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, true. I don't think I've got the shape at all.
No.
Off season, I definitely don't because my waist just gets blown out. I don't think I have a very pleasing look. I think it's just kind of like grotesque. So
yeah, it is pretty disgusting, mate. You should probably, to be honest,
fucking filthy. Fucking filthy.
Probably quit.
Yeah, I will, mate. I will before I've even competed. But yeah, I'm kind of I'm looking forward to that conversation with Tom. And yeah, got to get my fucking ducks in a row before then.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm looking forward.
Are you having that conversation with Tom?
I imagine probably genuinely around like April time, May time. Me and Chloe are potentially looking at I might move in to her family's for a small stint, just so she can save up some cash. So we'll see as well. So I might have to figure that out.
How long are you renting for?
Huh?
When's your like rent contract there for?
Around like April, May, it finishes.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, and then she's also thinking of maybe like going traveling because she's got like 2 mates that go into Australia. So nice. I've said to her, I was like, if you go to Australia, I will prep because she'll be there for 6 months. I was like, I'll just fucking like go for it because I'll be living on like she'll only go to Australia if we renew the tenancy on this place. Yeah, and if she's out doing that, I'm not just gonna sit here and go insane on my own. I'll be like, right, I'm living on my own. Fucking full throttle into prep. Yeah. If I live with my parents, I'd also full throttle into prep. But if I'm living at her parents' house, I think I might struggle because I'm an absolute twat when I'm lean. I just do not engage.
You don't say.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But either way, I want to get myself into a position where, to be honest, ideally I want her to go traveling because I know it would benefit her and it means I can prep, which is a win-win. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll come live with you, mate, and we'll just prep together. We'll just fucking.
I don't know if my mum would be very happy about that.
Yeah, no, probably not.
I don't think she would be very happy about that.
Okay, I think that's. I think we're concluding now.
Yeah, call it a day, mate.
Right. Do you want to outro everything, mate? I've done a lot of talking.
Thank you for listening. Episode 95, almost at 100. Don't know how to tolerate a Jack for this long. I'm gonna go and shit and go to work.
Beautiful. Follow the podcast, Catabolic Window on YouTube, Spotify, and Instagram. Please don't forget about the Instagram. Posts reels and shit a couple of times a week. I forget. It's me that posts them. I forget how many times it is. He's at LacticAddictLuke on YouTube and Instagram. I'm Jack Archer Academy or Jack_Archer Academy.
Oh yeah.
Instagram, YouTube. Don't follow the TikTok. If you want clothing, it's builtnotborn.store. You can use Lactic10 or Archer10 for a discount. Oh yes. That supports us both, which is tremendous. And I think that's everything. Anything else you want to promote?
Our OnlyFans is taking off, mate.
Yeah, the OnlyFans is.
Oh, mate, no, I have to say this. There's this chick at the gym group that does OnlyFans, and I saw her doing forearm training the other day, and I just couldn't stop laughing.
Oh no, mate!
That's couldn't stop, mate.
That's specificity right there.
I just couldn't get over it. It was just too good.
Does that class as functional strength?
I feel like it does. You know.
Yeah. Anyway, the OnlyFans will be getting lots more shots. So keep up to date with that. In all seriousness, though, all links are down below on YouTube. They're not there on Spotify. No, they are there on Spotify. They're there on both. Shit. Description both.
Well done, mate.
Any wise words for the listeners before we sign off then?
No. It's a new year. Do the same shit as last year if it works. If it didn't, don't do the same shit as last year. Do different shit like hiring one of us as your coach.